Hey there, are you tired of all the generic anime and manga you see? Is the current isekai meta extremely frustrating for you? Do you feel like stinky ass whenever you turn on a show and you always get the same copy-pasted bland, cringy jokes and shitty incest stories? Well, if the answer is yes, then you have clicked on the right video, because today I will talk about a story that is unique and has a different take on the isekai genre. So let's get started, shall we? But before that, subscribe to my channel so that I can get a monetization and get a better setup than this. So, FFF-CLASS Crash Hero, it's a story about a guy that gets transferred to another world, and at this point you're like, great, another fucking isekai. It's not like there are a million of these. But hear me out, this is a different kind of isekai, it's not like the other girls. Okay, so the story starts off with our main character defeating the demon lord after being summoned to the fantasy world. He has been stuck in this world for 10 years doing hero work to save the world. So finally, when he thought he could go home after slaying the demon lord, he finds out the whole thing was a test and he got an F rating for his character, making him fail the whole test and was forced to redo his whole journey and lost all his stats that he earned in the 10 whole years he spent there. At this point, you might think that the main character would just redo the whole thing but with extremely overpowered skills, right? Well, yes, you're absolutely right. The main character gets extremely overpowered, but the thing that's actually fun is his personality. As someone who has watched or read a lot of isekai stories, I'm used to having goody two-shoes protagonists, but this guy is a total fucking nut job. He is a narcissist, hypocritical sociopath that thinks the people in the world are just XP that you can farm like in a video game. He doesn't care who he kills as long as he gets XP, and he has this extremely fucking dark and sociopathic humor. Sounds edgy? Well, this show is a fucking edge fest. The main character is so edgy that you can basically get cut from standing in front of him. The edge could probably cut a whole year's worth of vegetables in a single second with laser accuracy, and this edge is the reason why I fucking love this manhwa. The manhwa's edgy tone is not serious and more sarcastic. It's like the author is laughing with us because of how edgy the main character is. Every time a show tries to make an edgy character with a dark past, they end up making a shitty and boring character. The only personality we see is the edge and nothing else. It's like the guy is literally a fucking wall that can't be reasoned with. They almost fail to make anything interesting, but sometimes the authors try to give the character more flavor than just the edge, and when they successfully do that, it makes a fun story. In this manhwa, edge is more deliberate than anything. This guy has become edgy because the isekai world has no fucking hygienic toilets. Well, I would also be a sociopath if I didn't get clean toilets, to be honest. The main character gets angry at people for very big reasons, like helping him, talking to him, God forbid taking his XP away. It's all really fun and goofy, so I really like the author's spin on the common edgy protagonist, and honestly I think he made it better than any of the other stuff I've read. Also, the progression in the story is fucking great. Instead of going the usual route of fantasy stories where we see the main character go through many forests and fight monsters to save the people, we see the main character just use teleportation magic to travel. He starts a goddamn demon cult to clean the city from demon worshippers. He hijacks the king's throne and rules the city himself. He goes to the black market to look for slaves with a high level to kill them and get XP. The main character does whatever the fuck he wants, and that was extremely fun to me. His over-the-top dialogue and the way he treats his hero journey is fucking great. Now, the side characters, well, they don't have much to them really, they are just there. They all have some kind of quirky personality traits and they're okay. He treats them like absolute garbage and he has this superiority complex. But to be honest, he is superior, so I guess that's that. And the fact that whenever he does something extremely bad, the sides always make it look like he'd saved the day is hilarious. The ridiculous ways they make the main character look good is honestly pure gold to me. The whole purpose of the side characters is to make the main character shine more. The ragtag bunch going through a journey to kill the demon lord along with an over-the-top, overpowered main character is the formula to make a great comedy story in my opinion. The story just works in this manhwa. It's a ridiculous story, and honestly when I talk about it, it sounds like some really shitty edgefest, but if you don't read it yourself, you can't see how fun the story is. The story has decent world building in it, some interesting characters, and a decent plot with a great comedy. The twists and turns are also freaking great. It's not something groundbreaking or some holy grail, but it's definitely fun to read. So I would definitely recommend you to give this manhwa a try and let me know if you liked it. And my personal rating for this manhwa would be an 8 out of 10 just because of its unique story. And that's it for today. I was your host AniGuy, recommending you another isekai story due to my obsession with it. Signing out.